Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and I hope everybody's having a great weekend nonetheless. Today we're actually going to be talking about Hedera Hashgraph, or just Hedera if you will, because I suppose that they dropped the Hashgraph part of their name, but overall I still like to call it Hedera Hashgraph for what it is. But anyways, we're going to be talking about HBAR for a little bit, or I should say just all of this video, but I'm going to be talking specifically about why it could get to those nice targets that I've been mentioning forever now. We're also going to be talking about this entire cycle as well. So with that being said, if you guys are an HBAR holder, definitely hit that like button. Also subscribe and turn notifications on if you guys haven't already. So let's just jump into it. Let's talk about the overall structure that we are looking at right now. So while the market is ranging, right? We are in that October to November timeframe where pretty much the entire crypto market is ranging to go into a massive parabolic shift. And essentially, it's been following the 2017-2018 cycle nearly perfectly, right? And we're going to be addressing that and talking about why that's actually very important. So first off, let's actually look at HBAR. So HBAR is actually around the 30s now. It's at number 33 actually. So right now it is down a little bit, sitting at around 40 cents overall. It's been kind of just sitting stable here for a little bit of time. Now, in regards to that, right? So I've been mentioning HBAR for, I want to say it's been like, I think it's been since like the beginning of January actually of 2021. Is when I first started tweeting about it. When I started making videos in February, I pretty much started making videos on the HBAR around the beginning of March. So it's been a very long time, right? So obviously it could come off a little bit of hopium, if you will, in regards to me making a lot of videos on HBAR, giving you guys the daily updates on it, talking about the future of it. And a lot of people take this as an idea that, oh, a lot of people are going to be disappointed by these price targets not being targeted. Well, the thing is I seen this today, right? A lot of HBAR holders are going to be bitterly disappointed by this, talking about, what point will HBAR actually hit, right? A lot of people think that HBAR can't hit specific targets. They always say, oh, it's just hopium, it's just this, that. I talk about HBAR hitting $100 in the future. I think that $100 is easy for HBAR to hit. We've talked about, even in the sense of all of the supply being out there, the full 50 billion in supply being out there in regards to $100 would still be only 5 trillion in market cap. And I know a lot of people are going to say, only $5 trillion in market cap. What? Yeah, it's the idea that, like, when we're talking about other assets and we're talking about even companies, right? We talk about Apple, we talk about Microsoft, we talk about these massive distributing and pretty much product assets that have no use cases behind them besides having a product for supply and demand. When we talk about HBAR hitting $5 trillion, a lot of people can't see that because right now the market cap of crypto is at like 217 in regards to trillions, right? We see Bitcoin ranging to like $1 trillion this year in regards to its all-time high. So yeah, $5 trillion is a little bit of a stretch right now for a lot of people, and they can't grasp the idea of being a visionary and seeing the long-term view of crypto. And that's totally fine. I'm not going to hate on anybody who can't see the long-term growth of an asset like HBAR. But we go back to pretty much everything that they are doing, right? So first off, we talk about Hedera Hashgraph working with LCX. I've talked to you guys about this collaboration. I think that this is incredible for digital securities. We know that securities are a massive demand. We know that securities are huge assets as well in regards to massive amounts of money flows. So this could be very cool to see come to fruition. And this is also another great partnership with HBAR, again, that a lot of people don't see as being something big because LCX is not that big, but LCX is also doing incredible moves, and it's also building an extremely great overall pretty much exchange as well. I think that they are doing great things long term, and like I said, even with this overall partnership, I think that this is a great partnership. HBAR has a lot of small use cases under its belt. Even the Coupon Bureau, a lot of people undermine, but at the end of the day, if the Coupon Bureau goes live and starts transacting, there's 800 billion transactions a year alone. All right, so we see this, we see a massive partnership with LCX. All right, cool, whatever. It's just one partnership, who cares? But then we also see Alliance Block going all the way back to May 27th. Again, when I was talking to you guys about Alliance Block was doing incredible things. They continue to do incredible things. But then we've seen this massive partnership between them and Hedera Hashgraph to pretty much bridge DeFi and pretty much finance right now, traditional finance, if you will. And again, they're using the HCS, or the Hedera Consensus Service, bringing increased transparency to the audit trail. And again, a lot of people think, oh, it's nothing, it's just a small use case again, but all of this goes hand in hand with a massive amount of transactional flow. A lot of people actually undermine Alliance Block. Alliance Block is partnered with the London Stock Exchange. They are doing incredible things within capital markets. They're doing incredible things in finance. We talk about these assets, and they just might not be giants right now, but they are building their way to the top. Hedera Hashgraph is doing the same thing. Hedera, like I said, Hashgraph technology right now currently is the new name on the block. A lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people aren't talking about it, but those people who are talking about it and know about it right now are going to be the ones that look back and say, wow, I can't believe how early I was in regards to knowing about Hashgraph technology, because this is that disruptive technology that I've been talking about forever that's going to change the game of all of crypto. And I think a lot of people can see that. Now, of course, we do see here, Rare Sneaker app switches from Ethereum to Hedera to skip blockchain fees. HBAR, okay, I understand that when I say that HBAR is going to be the Ethereum killer, a lot of people laugh at it because, when you talk about Ethereum, Ethereum's been out forever, right? Ethereum came into inception in 2000, around 2013, 2014, right? And then it fully went live in 2015. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people, jumped on it. It was huge. It was new. Again, when we're talking about Ethereum has been losing the focus game, right? Because a lot of people are tired of gas fees. When I say to somebody in my Discord, or even on Twitter, or even when I make a YouTube video on Stack or something, I'm like, you got to use Uniswap. People don't want to do Uniswap. And the reason why is because they have to utilize Ethereum gas fees. I mentioned so many assets to people that I know, and I'm just like, dude, you can get in on the ground floor on this asset. It's like, trading at below 1 cent, and they're just like, all right, what do I do? Well, you have to use Ethereum, and then that's pretty much it, right? That's like the killer there. They don't even want to touch it because Ethereum gas fees are absolutely garbage. Ethereum, for what it is worth, did its thing in the beginning, and now it's just kind of one of those assets that are just not efficient enough. And a lot of people will say, Ethereum 2.0, Ethereum 2.0. It's just the way that people are screaming at the top of their lungs. ADA is going to bring out smart contracts. Look at ADA smart contracts. They are failed. They are terrible. They are garbage. Again, it all goes back to the hand that, a lot of these assets, Ethereum would do 10 times better if it was built on Hedera's mainnet. If Ethereum was leveraging Hedera technology, they would be doing incredible things. Again, same goes for Cardano. Cardano's looking at, right now, Chainlink to increase their smart contract efficiency. That is exactly the problem with a lot of these assets. They need another asset to work efficiently. What does Hedera need? Nothing. Hedera is already at the point of being massively efficient. It's being the #1 choice for enterprise use cases, and it already shows in regards to being the most utilized DLT technology out there. Why am I talking about this article? Why am I talking about Ethereum? All of these assets, right? A lot of these projects are switching from Ethereum to Hedera. They are switching from other assets to Hedera because they realize how efficient Hedera is in regards to utilization from these massive use cases. Again, with smart contracts v2.0, we've talked about it. I've discussed it. I've talked about how Hedera gets to $100 plus price evaluation, especially considering the fact that Smart Contracts 2.0 is going to unlock 100 plus transactions per second on a smart contract basis, and that is not achieved anywhere else, even in regards to ADA, even in regards to any other asset in the space. Hedera is doing incredible things. And again, this goes all the way back to June of this year when we've talked about Proven DB switching from, Ethereum to Hedera Hashgraph, because Proven DB had free accounts on their platform, right? And these free accounts were transacting over the Ethereum mainnet, costing Proven DB massive amounts of money in fees. So they said, you know what? We're going to switch from this. We're going to go over to Hedera Hashgraph. It's a lot more cheaper, and it is a lot more efficient. And again, that is exactly why a lot of these, when we talk about, oh, this is the, the true Ethereum killer, Hedera Hashgraph is the actual blockchain killer. And I'm not going to say, Hedera is going to replace Ethereum altogether and, replace Bitcoin. No, I'm just saying that at some point in time, we will most likely see a Hedera Hashgraph being the number one asset or even the number two asset. And guess what? Whatever is number one, it's not going to be Bitcoin or Ethereum anymore. I think a lot of people are stuck in that mindset. And again, it goes all the way back to that ego mindset where Bitcoin's going to be around forever. It's digital gold. Everybody loves it. Financial institutions are backing it. They're backing it just like they backed gold. No, that is not the idea here anymore. Bitcoin is useless garbage again. It's a speculative store of value that nobody really cares about, especially from an overall standpoint. The only reason why it's getting any traction is because its dominancy factors are still above 40%. We still leverage it in regards to a massive bull or bear market. Until we get into a utility market, Bitcoin will still thrive. But once we get into a utility-driven market, a lot of the demand in Bitcoin is just going to fall. It's going to fall. It's going to fall because it's going to go all into these massive utility-grade tokens. And guess what is the most utilized asset in regards to DLT technologies and use cases around the world? Hedera, right? We all already see that. 1.7 billion transactions just in basically almost 1 year alone. Even if we go to the transactional data flow from 1 year ago, right, this takes a little bit to load, but we see 1.4 billion transactions in 1 year. Show me a DLT technology in the space doing that many transactions a year, and I will tell you right now, okay, I could see that competing with Hedera, but there is no other DLT in the space doing that transactional data flow. Now, in regards to this, how do we get to these major price targets this bull run, right? The $10 to $15. Well, let's look at this, right? We talk about this massive bull run that could happen, right? We compare it, to the 2021 Bitcoin range. This is coming from Do-It-Yourself Investing. Shout out to him. But he's talking about based off of the 2013-2017 bull cycles. I've talked about this. We've talked about this multiple times on this channel, talking about a $250,000 to $300,000 Bitcoin. If this happens, okay, first off, we're talking $5,000 plus QNT. We're talking about a $20 plus XRP. We're also talking about these massive price targets for all of these other assets. And look at HBAR at $10 plus, right? Now, when we're talking about this, should we expect this? Absolutely not. We shouldn't. But I'm just saying these price targets are not too far out. A $20 plus XRP and a $10 plus HBAR, we technically don't need $250,000 to $300,000 Bitcoin at all. What we actually need is just the percentages from 2017 to flow into the altcoins. It doesn't need to flow into Bitcoin. Bitcoin does not need to be at those massive price targets. That's just generating more and more income within the markets to flow into altcoins to allow altcoins to really kind of push up and make these massive gains. Overall, I'm still expecting Bitcoin to have a massive bull run. We'll most likely top out somewhere under 100K with high possibilities being 120 to 150K if we get there. I just don't expect it, and I don't think anybody else should be expecting it overall from a hopium standpoint. But when we're talking about Bitcoin, right, we always talk about the return cycles in regards to yearly returns. We go back to 2013, 2014. We look at October 2013, 60%. 2017, 47, almost 45%. The percentages taper off every time that we have a bull and bear market because of the fact that more and more demand is pushing towards altcoins than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at high levels of price appreciation for normie investors to not be able to get a great ROI. Yeah, sure, they might see ROI in regards to like stocks by like 10%, whatever, around that point. But you can get massive ROI from other altcoins. We've already seen that in regards to 10,000, 19,000% runs from year to date, right? Now, in regards to this, we always talk about November. Look at November in 2013, 400 and almost 50% of an increase in price. We talk about 2017, right? 53.48%. Now, I know that those percentages might be a little bit different in regards to, the massive percent difference, but that's just because Bitcoin was nearly at $20,000, right? Now, again, December, that's where pretty much in 2013 and 2014, it kind of tapered off. We hit like the topping point. But in 2017, we actually see that it still made some gains in December, up almost 39%. So we're expecting November and also December to be incredibly well for, Bitcoin. Even October, right? Look at 2013, look at 2017, 61% almost. 2017, almost 48% in October. So October is still starting, and we're still going to have a massive rally in October if we do follow through with the cycle pattern, which I think that we're following fairly closely. I don't think that we see those massive, 6-digit numbers. But again, in the sense of HBAR, a lot of people can't see the long-term growth, but I always see it. We see it working right now. Look at the healthcare scene for HBAR, right? They're working with massive enterprise use cases. First off, the healthcare scene over here, right? They're working with a core, which we've talked about. A core. They're working with NHS. They're talking about massive, even talking about the COVID vaccine, right? They're storing it. They're moving it. They're doing track and trace with it as well. There's so many use cases locked behind closed doors for HBAR, especially even in regards to NDAs. A lot of people don't see that, but there's a lot of NDAs within Hedera too that a lot of people aren't realizing as well. But when we talk about enterprise grade use cases, look at all the enterprise grade use cases. We're talking about track and trace, asset tokenization, fraud mitigation, permission blockchain, identity and authentication, ERP, CRM, and EAM. This is all talking about finances. They're talking about massive money boats, right? These are the flows that flow throughout the entire world. I think a lot of people are undermining Hedera just because of the short-term price appreciation. Yeah, all right, whatever. It's barely moved. We can't get to this price target. Everybody is always saying that we can't get to this, can't get to that, but I don't know. In my opinion, I think that is a terrible way to look at things. We're up 1,114% year to date. Most assets, if we click here and look at year to date, all of these percentages are going to be extremely different. But look at AXS, 21,200%. Telcoin, 11,200%. Solana, 9,441%. I mean, a lot of these assets are doing incredible moves, and this is only the beginning for HBAR. I'm telling you guys, when we're looking at HBAR and when we're looking at the long-term view, $100 is an easy target for it. There's a lot more utility cases that a lot of people are undermining, but the long-term, growth point, I already said by 2030, I think HBAR will be at $100 plus. And I think a lot of people are undermining that. So with that being said, I think that HBAR is an incredible long-term hold. I even think it's a great short-term hold as well. I think it's the true blockchain killer in the sense of it basically topping out somewhere in regards to the number 1 or 2 spot, depending on how the utility markets look. But overall, HBAR is a massive giant, and I think a lot of people are overlooking it and undermining it. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys don't want free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.